Hey gardening friends, ready to grow healthier plants, bigger harvests, and smarter gardens? Let's get started.
What if I told you the most powerful pest killer in America has been sitting under your kitchen sink this whole time, and it costs less than a cup of coffee? What if I told you it wipes out entire ant colonies, stops termites cold, saves dying tomato plants, and even protects your apple trees from the worst worm in the country? And what if I told you the reason nobody at the garden center ever mentioned it is because there is no profit in a $2 box that replaces $40 worth of sprays? Welcome to The Smart Gardener. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button right now because this channel is where we cut through the marketing noise and get back to what actually works in the dirt. That $2 box is borax, sodium tetraborate, a natural mineral that has been mined from dry lake beds out in California since the 1880s. Today, I am going to walk you through 12 ways to use this one simple powder in your garden and around your home. Every single one, backed by real science and generations of hands-on experience. And the 12th one, the very last one I saved for the end, is a trick that even most master gardeners have never heard of. So, stay with me all the way through. Let us get started. Number 1. The ant colony killer. Here is the thing most people get wrong. They see ants, and they reach for a spray can. That kills 10 ants, and leaves 10,000 more in the nest untouched. Borax works the opposite way. It is a slow-acting stomach poison. The worker ant tastes the sweet bait, carries it home, and feeds it mouth-to-mouth to the queen, the nurses, and the larvae. University research shows the ideal concentration is between 0.5% and 1%. Any stronger and the foragers die too fast before they ever make it back to the nest. Mix 1 teaspoon of borax into 1 cup of warm water with 1/2 cup of sugar. Soak cotton balls in it and set them right on the ant trail. Do not spray. Do not crush the scouts. Let them work for you. Within days, the entire colony collapses from the inside out. Number 2. Slugs and snails. If your hostas or strawberries wake up full of holes every morning, sprinkle a thin, dry ring of borax around the base of the plant about 1/2 inch wide, keeping it 2 to 3 inches away from the stem. Borax pulls moisture right out of their soft bodies and breaks down the protective slime layer. They will not cross it. Refresh after heavy rain. Number 3. Fleas in the carpet. Sprinkle fine borax powder into the carpet. Work it deep into the fibers with a soft broom, and leave it for 24 hours before you vacuum. The borax dries out flea eggs and larvae hiding down in the pile where chemical sprays never reach. Do this once in early summer and once in early fall, keeping pets and small children out of the room while it sits. Number 4. Cockroaches. Mix equal parts borax and plain white flour or powdered sugar. Dust a thin line behind the refrigerator, under the stove, along the back of the cabinets. Roaches groom the powder off their legs, swallow it, and their digestive system shuts down within a day or two. But killing bugs is only half the story. Borax solves a problem your garden soil might have right now that you do not even know about yet. Number 5. And this is the one that separates a smart gardener from everybody else. Boron is a trace mineral your soil needs in tiny amounts for protein building, cell wall development, sugar transport, and most importantly, pollination and fruit set. If your tomatoes drop their blossoms, if your cauliflower turns brown in the center, if your beets feel corky when you cut them open, your soil is starving for boron. Sandy soils, low organic matter, and high alkaline ground are the worst offenders. Dissolve 1 level tablespoon of borax in 1 gallon of water and spray it evenly over 1,000 square feet of garden once a year in spring. But listen carefully. Boron is good in whispers and deadly in shouts. Too much will burn roots and sterilize a patch of ground for 2 to 3 years. Measure with spoons, never cups, and get your soil tested first. Number 6. Termites and carpenter ants in wood. Mix borax into warm water, 1 part borax to 8 parts water, and brush it onto bare fence posts, porch beams, and barn sills. The borax soaks into the wood fibers. When a termite chews that wood, The powder destroys its gut bacteria, so it can no longer digest the wood. It starves inside its own tunnel. A 12-year study by the USDA Forest Service confirmed this treatment stops termite attacks completely. Number 7. Powdery mildew on squash and cucumbers. That gray-white dust on the leaves that spreads faster than you can pick. Mix 1 teaspoon of borax and 1 tablespoon of cooking oil into 1 gallon of water. Shake it hard. Spray the tops and bottoms of the leaves early in the morning before the sun hits them. The borax shifts the leaf surface to a pH the fungus cannot survive on. 3 applications, 4 days apart. Number 8. Weeds in sidewalk and driveway cracks. Not in your garden beds, because borax will hurt anything green it touches. But in cracks where nothing should grow, dissolve 1 1/4 cups of borax in 1 gallon of warm water and pour it right into the crack on a dry, sunny day. Gone within a week. Gone for the season. Research out of Iowa State even showed borax controls 60 to 70% of creeping Charlie, one of the toughest lawn weeds in the country. We have covered pests, fungus, and weeds. But borax still protects your shed, your basement, and your apple trees. And that secret I promised you is coming up next. Number 9. Mice in the shed and the chicken coop. Borax will not kill a mouse on the spot, but mice hate walking through fine powder. It sticks to their feet, they lick it clean, and the taste burns their gut just enough to make them decide your shed is not worth the trouble. Sprinkle a generous band of borax across every doorway threshold, around feed bins, and behind the chicken feeder. They move on, and your grain stays in the bin. Number 10. Mold and mildew on basement walls, the underside of the porch, and that north-facing siding the sun never touches. Mix 1 cup of borax into 1 quart of hot water and scrub it into the moldy spot with a stiff brush. Here is the key. Do not rinse it off. Leave it. The borax keeps drying out the spores for weeks afterward, long after you have put the brush down. Number 11. And this is the one I have been saving. The codling moth. The worm inside the apple. It is the single worst pest of home orchards in America. The reason your apples have that brown tunnel running straight to the core. The larvae spend the winter hiding in bark crevices on the trunk. In late winter, before the buds break, mix borax with warm water into a thick paste about the consistency of heavy cream. Take a wide paintbrush and paint a band around the trunk from about 1 foot off the ground up to about 3 feet high. When those larvae wake up in spring and start crawling toward the new buds, they have to cross that band. The borax destroys them before they ever reach a single leaf. 1 painting, 1 tree, pennies. This method was documented in a USDA bulletin back in 1914, and then quietly forgotten once the chemical industry took over after the war. Number 12. And this one is the bonus that most people have never even considered. Your pruning shears, your shovels, your planting pots can carry fungal diseases and bacteria from one plant to the next every time you use them. Soak your tools in half a cup of borax dissolved in 1 gallon of warm water for 30 minutes. Rinse them clean and dry them in the sun. And here is one more. When you cut down or prune a tree in your yard, sprinkle dry borax directly onto the fresh cut stump surface immediately. The USDA Forest Service has confirmed that this simple step prevents a deadly root fungus from entering through the stump and spreading underground through the roots to kill healthy trees standing right next to it. That is, 12 ways a $2 box of borax protects your garden, your home, your orchard, and your tools. But before I let you go, there is one more thing I need to say to you straight. Borax is a mineral salt. I am not going to sell you a miracle. Too much of it will burn a plant down to the roots and leave a patch of dead soil for 2 to 3 years. The old-timers measured in spoons, never in cups, because they understood that the line between medicine and poison is always the dose. The warning label on the box looks scarier today than it did 50 years ago, but that is only because companies print one label for every market now. The powder inside has not changed. Keep it away from children and pets the same way you would keep dish soap away from them, and respect the amounts I gave you today. The difference between a garden that feeds a family and a garden that just frustrates one comes down to a handful of simple decisions each season. And one of the smartest decisions you can make is to look under your kitchen sink before you look at a catalog. That $2 box has been sitting there your whole life, patient and quiet, ready to do work that nobody ever told you it could do. Tell me down in the comments what state you are gardening in and what pest or problem is giving you trouble this year. I read every single one. Hit subscribe to The Smart Gardener so you do not miss what is coming next. I am going to show you what a single cup of plain wood ash from your fireplace does to the worst weed in any American lawn. There is one weed that absolutely cannot survive it. I will tell you which one next time.